Warning: this podcast may contain spoilers from whatever TV show or movie is mentioned. Please listen at your own discretion. Welcome to Viewers Anonymous.
Yo,
I'm ready.
I'm Spooks Bronson. Okay.
And I'm Scott Foster, and this is Viewers Anonymous. And look, man, before we get started, man, I wanted to tell you, man, happy birthday. You know what I'm saying? I hadn't had a chance to say it to you.
Appreciate it, man.
I told you on Facebook, but you know what I'm saying? Had to let you know, man. See my guy had celebrated a birthday, so I was that, man. Oh, as a matter of fact, I'm spilling the beans, man. I just saw you just got a birthday present from one of your kids. So how did your birthday weekend go?
Well, you know what I'm saying? It was weird because usually my birthday is like on Friday or like Saturday, but it was on Wednesday. So I really didn't do anything. I went to work, which a lot of people got surprised because usually I'd like take that day off. But I went to work, man. Came home, my kids and my wife made me a cake, and then you know what I'm saying, I did a little bit on the grill, you know what I'm saying, I grilled some fish because I had a hankering to put some fish, and that was about it, man. I'm gonna continue the barbecue tomorrow on Saturday, and kick it with the kids and the wife, man. They you know what I'm saying, like you just said, they got me a gift. They got me a Cleveland Browns bucket hat, you know what I'm saying. So I'm ready and prepared for the summer and the upcoming season. So, man, it was good, though, man. You know what I'm saying? 32 feel all right.
32? Ooh, I wish I can go back to 32. I'm getting old, boy. I'm getting old, man. Shit, I just turned 35 this year, man, back in January. So it's just like,
yeah, man.
But I'm 35, but, man, the knees in the back feel 42. But I'm telling you, man, especially since I fucked up my Achilles.
Yeah.
Man, I'm telling you, man, when I messed up my Achilles back January of I did that back last year, man, and it was but still feel it, man, still feel it. And it's like they and you know the old people will tell you, they'll say, hey, when you get older, you get hurt, that shit take longer to heal. But when you're young, you're like shit, that ain't gonna happen to me. I'm gonna be good.
Listen, I got a knee injury from I think I was 10. Pee Wee football. I hyperextended my left knee, and to this day, man, it's the worst ache and pain I get on my body. If I sleep wrong, I feel it. I can't, like, if I'm jumping or if I'm doing anything and I don't continuously do it. Like if I go hoop tomorrow, I gotta ice my knee. I gotta take some Aleve or something the night before, because if not, my knee gonna swell up into a big softball, man. Like it's the worst, bro.
Damn. Yeah, man. I wanted to tell you, man. You know, when we jumped on, I was like, man, happy birthday, man. You know, because it's like Charlamagne the God always say, man. It's a blessing to age, man. It's a blessing to have a birthday, man. You know what I'm saying? To go on with life, especially when you got kids in the family and all that type of stuff. You start looking at age differently.
Yeah, man.
You know what I'm saying? When you got the kids and all that type of stuff. So, you know what I'm saying? I wanted to get that out there. But before we get started in the movie, man, I just wanted to say, me and you, we had a lengthy discussion about the past podcast that was on the Already Home podcast, and it's funny, but it's funny, but it's not funny.
It's hilarious, bro. It is hilarious, bro. It's hilarious
because I was thinking, man, you know, podcast wise, you know, because when I was listening to it, I listened to it with the podcast ear, you know, and I was thinking, like, man, I wonder what's going through his brain right now, just for the people that listens to the Already Home podcast to come over to the Viewers Anonymous. You know, I just just before, you know, just a little early cleanup, man, was there, because I told you I was surprised that you released it on how everything went down.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? As far as not being, you know what I'm saying, controlled in the type of way that you wanted it. Was there anything that you would want to say to the Already Home fans about that last pod?
Well, first off, I want to apologize to the, you know what I'm saying, Already Home listeners, man, because, you know, they expect better quality than what we gave out. You know what I'm saying? We've given out better quality than what that last episode was. But since, you know what I'm saying, since this is a film and television podcast, you know what I'm saying, I would like to talk about how I felt with the metaphor of the movie Inside Out from Disney Pixar. If anybody ever seen that movie, there's a bunch of different little characters in the movie, and each character represents like a human emotion. So like it's one that's like joy, it's one that's happiness, it's one that's sad, it's one that's like angry all the time. So the angry one is like a little short red dude. That's how I felt through the whole podcast. I felt like the little short red dude in Inside Out. If y'all never seen that movie, go watch it. I got 3 kids, so like I done seen them all the kid movies. But Inside Out was so funny to me because like the little angry red dude, like he embodied everything that I felt on that last podcast. Like it was just like I went back and listened to it, and going back and listening to it, like I could hear myself getting pissed as the time kept going. Like I was just getting more and more pissed. And it was just like, man, you know what I'm saying? Like, I expect better from the podcast. And then it's like, you know, I put it out for a reason because, you know what I'm saying, I wanted people to know, like, no matter what, you know what I'm saying, we all have these things that we have to deal with in life. And even though, you know what I'm saying, like, we want things to be, you know what I'm saying, super perfect, and we want things to always appear to be, you know what I'm saying, 100% right. Like sometimes, you know what I'm saying, we got some issues. Sometimes we got problems. And I just don't want to, I never, like, coming into podcasting, I never wanted to put on like a front. Like I wanted to, like when I podcast, like I don't want anything to be hidden. I don't want anything to be falsified, none of that. Like I want people to understand like everything that we do is 100% us. And so the situation that, you know what I'm saying, all the chaos and everything that happened, like I put it out because I want people to hear, like, you know what I'm saying, the situation. Like it was still conversation at the end of the day. I tried to drive it the best that I could, but you know what I'm saying, like sometimes, you know what I'm saying, I don't think people understand. And I really did it just for like the people that was here, because I'm sure that they went back and listened too. But I wanted them to hear like the situation that was going on, because like, you know, when you feel a certain way about something, or like when you doing stuff like podcasting, like you have to understand that it's an actual process. Even though there's no rules to podcasting, like you can do pretty much whatever you want as far as podcasting. It could be 4 hours long. It could be 2 minutes long. It can be 4 episodes, and then, you know what I'm saying, you can do seasons. Like it's freelance. I mean, it's free territory, but it's still within that realm. It's still like a process into it. Like, you know what I'm saying, you can't over talk people because nobody's gonna hear what's being said. You can't really be too loud because the mic is gonna get distorted. You know what I'm saying? Like it's ways to go about it. So, you know what I'm saying, hopefully they went back and listened and heard it themselves, and, you know, just realized just how foolish we sounded.
Yeah. I mean, it was something like, dude, I hit you right on. Like I probably was, I think I was like 15, 20 minutes in, and I text you. I was like, dude, like, man, what's going on, man? What's going on with this pod, man? But, you know, that's the great thing about, you know what I'm saying, us forming this friendship, because it's like we do something similar, and it's like it's somebody to reach out to.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Even when I was having problems, like with my podcast, as far as like, I had a problem with, when I was just on SoundCloud and putting it on Apple. Like I hit you. Like you helped me with the process of putting podcasts on Apple when I first got on Apple Podcasts. So, to have somebody to reach out to that do the same thing that you do and also is passionate as about podcasting, as we both are, it's just always a blessing and really nice to have somebody to hit. So, like, as soon as I heard it, I hit you and you told me, like, dude, I'm glad you reached out because, like, you had to know what I was going through, you know what I'm saying, as far as, putting this podcast out and actually what was going on during the podcast. Because I'm the same way, like, when things don't go right and I go back and I listen to mine and I hear the mistakes that I made, I meant to say this, but I said that, and all this type stuff. And, because you always be your own worst critic a lot of the times, especially when you're really passionate about it. So, like, when I mess up, because I listen to it when I be at work, and I cringe, and I'd be like mad at myself, be like, damn, I said this, and I meant to say that, and I said the wrong year.
I do the same.
Yeah, man. So I was like, I felt you needed a podcast friend at that moment, man. So that's why I decided to hit you when I listened.
Listen, I was elated when you had texted me, bro, because I was just like. And then the funny part is, like, you had texted me as I was listening to it. So it was like, that made it that much better, too. Like, man, I'm so glad he said something. Because I ain't gonna lie, if nobody would have said nothing throughout, like, the whole week, and then, like, coming into that next episode, I probably would have spazzed out. Like, I would have brought it up on the podcast. Like, I'd have said something about it. Because it's like, I don't know, man. To me, it just feels, it feels like, you know what I'm saying? After doing this for so long, like, because you got to think about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you've been doing it for 3 years or already 3 years. You know what I'm saying? And when you think about, like, the how many episodes we've done, how much time and effort we done put into it, the changes we've made, you know what I'm saying, sometimes the money we spent, just all that effort and time and investment that we put into this project or these projects, like, you're supposed to be your own worst critic because at the end of the day, that's how you grow. You know what I'm saying? Like, none of this shit gets better if we don't go back and listen to ourselves and critique ourselves to say, okay, next time I go into it, I got to make sure I'm not saying or but, or, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not putting in too many filler words, or, you know what I'm saying? Next time I got to slow down when I talk, or I got to be a little bit louder, or I may have to be a little bit quieter, or, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's always something that we can improve on. And it was just, at that moment, I just felt like all that shit was thrown out the window. So, you live and you learn, man. And it can only go up from there.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, man, we decided we finally got a new movie to do, man, because we ended up doing 2 classics back to back. I felt like we was waiting for, the perfect movie to do as far as, a newer movie. And I think that turned out to be a good decision, man. I think that the one we're doing today, I think it was a good decision to wait and actually, you know what I'm saying, to get some content out there. We just went ahead and did 2 classics. And now we finally got a new one, man. Finally got a new one. Go ahead and introduce it, man.
Man, this is probably one of the best movies to come out on Netflix in a long time. Probably, I actually might want to say it might be one of the best Netflix movies ever. You know what I'm saying? The Old Guard, man. It was a great movie. I'm gonna just go ahead and get into it. I want to start first. So, okay, you know what I'm saying? So watching it, you know what I'm saying, Charlize Theron, and then I forgot what the one guy's name is. I think it's like Chetel Ikwe, or I don't know how to pronounce his name.
12 years
I know he played in like 12 Years a Slave. Yeah, he was in Doctor Strange. You know what I'm saying? Great actor. Those two instantly, you know what I'm saying, I looked at it, I'm like, okay. So, you know what I'm saying, they spent a little bit of money to, you know what I'm saying, make some things happen. So I wasn't expecting a bad movie. You know what I'm saying? Charlize Theron, she's in it. I'm like, okay, it's gonna be some action because, you know what I'm saying, she got Aeon Flux. And what's the one she just did? Like Blonde.
Atomic Blonde?
Yeah.
Atomic Max.
Blonde. So, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. She got whoa, she was in Mad Max?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, she had a hair shaved in
the new one?
In Mad Max. Yeah.
That's her?
Yeah, that's her. I didn't know that. Yes.
Yeah, I didn't know that was her. Oh shit.
Yeah.
You just blew my mind. I really didn't know that was her. That's crazy. Okay, so I mean, you know what I'm saying? She got action movie history. So, you know what I'm saying? I knew that, you know what I'm saying, it wasn't just somebody being thrown into it. What's up?
Yeah, speaking of her though, she is very underrated, dude. Like her catalog, her filmography, that shit is hard, yo. Like it's really good. I think she's one of the women who, like, everybody always want to talk about, you know, Meryl Streep and, you know, and I don't know who another female that they just be putting up on that pedestal. I can only think of Meryl Streep right now. Julia Roberts. You know what I'm saying? Like
Julia Roberts. Julia Roberts. What's the two?
But when you put her catalog, you put her catalog. I take her catalog over Julia Roberts and Meryl Streep any day. But I just wanted to get that out.
That's interesting. That's very interesting. But I think that, you know what I'm saying, when I first seen it, I was like, okay, you know what I'm saying, it started off instant action, which is always good. And then, you know what I'm saying, they kind of get into the little story a little bit. You know what I'm saying? They kind of tell you about what's going on. But the most interesting part of the beginning of the movie is the scene where it comes in. They are dead, or they're presumed to be dead. And then it goes into the story, and it gets to the point to where the beginning of the movie is, and we find out that they can't die. So at that point, I'm like, oh, okay, now this is about to be some different shit. Like, this is about to be something totally different. And I think that, you know what I'm saying, without really telling the movie, because I don't want to give too much away, but I mean, you know what I'm saying, like, I think that with them doing the movie the way that they did, like, with them actually having certain aspects of their age, for instance, like, they had guns, you know what I'm saying, they had Kevlar vests, but then, like, if you pay attention, like, one of them had a sword, the other one had an axe, one of them would have, like, a bow staff. Like, you could tell, like, from each one, they all was showing the time period that they came from. Because we, you know what I'm saying, we eventually go to find out that they all came from different time periods. And so, I don't even know what the young black actress's name is, but I think she also did a great job with her jumping into the mix. You know what I'm saying? She was in the army, and then they out there in Iraq or Afghanistan, somewhere in the Middle East. She ends up getting shot and then wakes up out of nowhere. We find out that it's another one. And then, you know what I'm saying, we also found out, yeah, she got cut. I said she got shot. She got cut in the neck because the terrorist dude.
Yeah.
And so, you know what I'm saying, we see that, you know what I'm saying, she's basically one of them, because there's 4 of them all together. And then we see that she's one of them. But as the story goes along, it kind of breaks down Charlize Theron's character. And you kind of see, like, she's the ringleader of it all. She's eventually the, you know what I'm saying, like, the one that kind of began all of it, I guess. She the first one. That's what it seemed like. And then we found out that she had a protege, I guess.
Well, it was the first person that she found like her.
That either didn't. Yeah. And so, you know what I'm saying? She got somebody up under her wing, and then I guess they catch him or they capture him. Then they put him in a like a little hole or in a cell. And then they take the chick that or her protege. I'm gonna just say her protege. They take her protege and then they throw her in the ocean. And to me, I was confused when I seen that because I'm like, well, she just gonna be like dying over and over again, I guess, because like,
yeah,
like she can't die,
dude. That's think about this shit, dude. Like really think about it. Like you being in the middle of the ocean, cold as fuck, and you're by yourself. And
suffocating every time.
You suffocating, then you wake up, then you suffocate, then you wake up. Dude,
yeah, like
that's
annoying as fuck. Yeah, that's annoying as fuck. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, we find out that there's this secret agency that's trying to create some formula to let people continue to live. They eventually find out about the four people the four people that's or they eventually find out about the immortal people. And then, you know what I'm saying, the introduction of the young black girl, she comes in, she trying to, I guess, gain the trust of Charlize Theron's character. The group kind of, you know what I'm saying, takes her in. It ain't really like a hard thing for them, but for Charlize Theron, I guess, seeing how she already had a protege, that made it a little bit more difficult for her. And then they get to the shits. They go take down the agency. And then we find out Charlize Theron actually dies. The shit that was mind-blowing to me because the whole time I'm thinking that they really immortal. And, I mean, I guess not. So we find out Charlize Theron dies. But at the end of the movie, her protege comes back. And I'm hoping that they do a second one.
Well, she didn't necessarily die. She just, her wounds, like she actually had to fucking care for her wounds. Like she wasn't bulletproof no more, basically. What I love the concept of it, and I would also like to say that I don't think the concept of it is far-fetched, okay? You got to also realize I am a conspiracy theorist person, all right? I think that we are naive to believe that there's not aliens, okay? There's all these other planets. You telling me there's nothing else on these motherfuckers? Like, I just believe that there's some shit that, like that's just like, okay, right? The blue whale, okay? Mm-hmm. The blue whale used to have feet, but they adapted to their, you know what I'm saying, their environment because they basically started out as being dinosaurs. Right? Mm-hmm. If you look at an alligator is basically really a small-ass dinosaur. They just adapted to the world of today, and they just got smaller. So I'm a person that believed that there was dinosaurs. So the point that I'm getting to is I don't think that it's really that far-fetched to believe that there's immortal people fucking around us, dude. Like, you can find pictures of motherfuckers that look like people way back then, and it's
for real.
That's what I'm saying, and it's like, and I'm looking at this, and I'm like, I don't think that shit is that far fetched, and I'm thinking, and I'm looking at it, I'm like, man. So then I'm trying to put myself in it, like, shit, would I want that? And then it's like, I think it's more of a curse than actually a gift, because people think that it'd be cool to never die, but you got to also realize. Everyone that you know is going to die around you, and you have to keep. All you do, you constantly relive death from people that you know. Like, you have to live a life where you don't get close to people, and it's like I just think that it would end up being more of a curse, and that's when we realized why the one dude sold them out, because it got to the point where you would think in your own head, like, dude, like, I'm tired of being here and I can't go anywhere. You know what I'm saying?
Well, it's either that, or you would just have to be like an extremely selfish person.
Yeah, but I like what they did, and the other thing that I loved about this film was the fact that they didn't have like special powers or anything. Like,
right,
they get shot, the shit hurts. You know what I'm saying? You jump out of the building, that shit hurt. So it's not like a situation where it's like they get shot. Oh, I'm good, brush that shit off. It's like, no, they was like, look, you feel like you can't die, but you feel this pain. Like, this shit is really gonna hurt you. So I feel like if there were such a thing, I believe it would be that. Like, even though, you know what I'm saying, you can get hit by a car or some shit, you're gonna be fucked up for a couple of minutes and you're gonna feel it. But then that shit just goes away. So I feel like that's how it would really be if that was the situation. And when you look at, her name was Andy, and when you look at Charlize Theron, like, with being around as long as she's been around, she also knew, because you remember, she knew that you wouldn't stay immortal because her and her protege girl lost that one black guy during a war. And they was like, why are you still bleeding?
So he was one of them too then?
Yeah, he was one of them.
So I got confused on that.
Okay. Yeah. Because that's why she told them, like, we don't know when this shit stops. So the vibe that I picked up was when the black girl became one of them, Charlize Theron started to lose her immortality. And what I'm thinking, that when the black dude died, one of the dudes in her crew must have became one. Because remember, it was just her and the Oriental girl. It was her and the Oriental girl. And then they end up separating them and putting the Oriental girl in the water or whatever. Then she was by herself again. It didn't say, they might have said who she found next. I can't remember out of the crew who she found next, but I think that
it was the couple.
The two gay dudes. It had to be them, because they said that the one dude that turned them in, they found him last.
Yep. He was the newest one.
Yeah, and because the gay dude, they was like, we actually killed each other, and I'm thinking that she must have found them around that time. So that's my theory of what ended up happening. And like, you remember at the end when he said, I'm probably never going to see you again. And she said, have some faith, because they banished him to be by himself for 100 years. So what's interesting to me about if there's another one is the fact of, is there a way for her to get her immortality back, or is she gonna end up growing old and actually fucking dying? Like, I think that whatever they do, they have to give us that storyline of what ended up happening to her.
Well, I think that the way it ended is a perfect setup for the second one. Only because, you know what I'm saying, I think that now we actually have an antagonist who is of the same ilk as the old guard. Because, you know what I'm saying, like, the antagonist in this movie is, you know what I'm saying, the agency that's trying to get their DNA and trying to use that to create the serum to help people live longer. But this time, you know, well, in this movie, they can't really fight these guys. I mean, they do a great job, you know, ground. They can't fight these guys. Like, we seen when they did the setup. The setup came, they shot them, and, you know what I'm saying, they act like they was dead. They came back to life and killed everybody in the goddamn room. And so, you know what I'm saying, like, now we got somebody who not only is almost just as old as Andy, but may have the same fighting skills as Andy, and may have a resentment towards Andy for letting the people do what they did to it. You know what I'm saying? Like, or who knows? Like, that could have messed up her psyche to where now, like, having to fucking drown for fucking however many years every goddamn day.
Like
that done turned her into a psychopath. Yeah, like it done turned her into a psycho to where like she just go on a killing spree. Like we don't, you know what I'm saying? Like I mean, it's so many different ways that they could use that, but I think with her coming out, and if they make her the antagonist, because we don't know yet, she might end up jumping in and joining them, and you know what I'm saying? Like you said, you know what I'm saying, with the black dude dying, maybe it's just so many people that's like that, and then it shifts from person to person. So I mean, we don't really know how all this shit really works. Maybe they go into the second movie about how all this shit started. So I don't know, man. It's, you know what I'm saying, it's a lot of possibilities.
Yeah, it's a lot of possibilities. I'm very anxious to see what they end up doing with it, because when you look at the flow of the movie, man, and like when they brought in Now, and when they brought in the black girl, like, you know, and that's the thing, man, when you really think about people, because and you see that with just regular life shit, like you see that with just regular stuff, like seeing a teenager pregnant or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Like everybody looking at her funny, you know what I'm saying? Something got to be wrong with her because she fucked up and got pregnant and all this type of stuff. And then, like, so when she got, now look, I get it. You can't really use teenage pregnancy with somebody getting the neck cut open and died and then come back. But it's like everybody was like whispering about her, you know what I'm saying? And she started to feel that aloneness, like they said that she would. And what they was about to do, they was about to lock her up. And so they got the same techniques that they was doing to Andy back in the day. Like, let's just lock this person up, and like what they would do with witches, like with witchcraft, like women who worship the devil and shit. Like they like, and you know what else? Damn, it just popped in my head. They did the same shit to Wolverine and Sabretooth and fucking the X-Men's Origins. You remember when they had them ones locked up, and what's my man?
Yep.
Yeah, and he was like, "You want to join a special team or whatever?"
Who?
What was that man's name? You remember that
Striker.
guy?
You talking about Striker?
Yeah, Stringer. Yeah, Stringer. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So like it's like, you know, I was thinking of the same thing, except they were just trying to kill them. They weren't trying to bring them in. But to get back to Now, it was like when she came and got her, you know, you get the rejection because it's like it's something new. Like you don't understand how you can get your neck sliced open. And then all of a sudden, when you wake back up, everybody looking at you funny, everybody treating you different. And then all of a sudden, this white woman just shows up and say, you know what I'm saying, I can explain everything to you. So I can get her.
And ain't no scars.
Oh, yeah.
No scars, like, no nothing.
No scars, no nothing. And it's like, you know, you have to realize, think that, and I think that it's natural to think that, nah, that shit didn't happen. Know what I'm saying? I must have dreamed that shit, man. Ain't no way in hell that shit was real. Then she shot her in the back of the head, and she's like, "You shot me." And she's like, "Damn, I'm good." And now, what was funny when they was in the thing, and she said that it don't last forever, and she was like, "And you shot me? What if I would have died?" She's like, you too young in this, like you just got into it. So I thought that there was some small comedic shit in it, but like they fight, like the fight scenes, dude. The fight scenes was awesome, dude. Real awesome. Like I don't know
that fight scene on the plane was. I think that probably was one of the. It might have been, the best fight scene in the movie. Only because like the way that it had to me, I feel like the way that it had to be set up. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause they already in a small space. They on a plane. You know what I'm saying? And then they, you know what I'm saying, you can see that Charlize Theron is like the Mr. Miyagi, and then, you know what I'm saying, now it's like you know what I'm saying, the Daniel. And they gotta go, you know what I'm saying, she trying to get the best of Andy, but Andy like, yo, like if you can chill out, you know what I'm saying, like she been telling her the whole time, I can explain all this shit to you. And to me, the best part about that fight scene was when she was speaking to the pilot. And she said something in, I forgot what, I think it was like Russian or whatever.
It was Russian, yeah.
She shot the shot. Yeah, she shot the shot, and then he acted like he was dead. So you know what I'm saying? She like, oh shit, you just killed the pilot. Who gonna fly the plane? You know, she's like you don't, you know what I'm saying? Like you don't realize that this person is so advanced and is trying to finally tell you something that it takes something so drastic to get you to listen and get you to, you know what I'm saying, come up under her wing and pay attention to what she's trying to tell you instead of you fighting against what you know what I'm saying, not just leave, no, just have. So I mean, I think that kind of was the turning point of the movie to where, you know what I'm saying, she finally kind of gave in to what was happening. And I mean, I think it was just one of the best fight scenes, of course. I thought the beginning fight scene was dope too. And then what was interesting though was the flashback when they had Indy and her, I guess, in her actual time period, and they was showing, you know what I'm saying, her fighting and everything else. I thought that was interesting because it was two women fighting, and it wasn't like, you know what I'm saying, like in that time, you think like the men would be out there and doing everything else, but like they showed like two women, and then they showed like a white woman and an Asian woman at that. So I thought that was pretty interesting. But it you know what I'm saying, it seems like a pretty good setup, you know what I'm saying? And I heard that it's from a comic book. I didn't even know that it's an actual comic book out about that.
Yeah, that was dope. And also, I think that I love how they brought that back at the end of the movie, the whole little Russian thing about do you speak Russian? I love when you have a script and you do something 25 minutes in, and then you bring that shit back in towards the end of the movie. Like that shit was dope.
Yeah, great
and like also in that fight scene, when she broke her arm and she broke her leg, you know what I'm saying, and she seen that shit start to heal, she was like, oh shit. And then she was like, she asked her something, and she was like, I don't know. And she was like, I thought you said you have the answers. And she was like, I didn't say you were gonna like them. You know what I'm saying? Like I could tell you, I could tell you what I could tell you, but you know, all this shit still can't be explained. And like also that like she was using the Russian people, they was running drugs and shit. She was like, these type of people you know what I'm saying, you deal with. And she was like, hey, you work with what you can work with. Like sometimes you gotta work with the devil to get some of the things that you need. And like when you be around that long, and also what they was trying to, cause this is the thing, like when you find out that you are immortal, it's like, do you be selfish with that and just basically do what you want, or you actually try to make the world a better place? And what they were doing was they was actually trying to make the world a better place, and they just realized like we're just four people. We've been doing this shit decade upon decade upon decade, and we can't get things to be better. So that also got to be fucking frustrating as hell.
Well, not necessarily, because remember when the I think it's Chettel something. I know his first name is Chettel, but when his character was talking about at the end when they went to his home to go get him, and remember everything on the wall when he was talking about his wife, and he was trying to explain how he was doing it to save his wife initially. But if everything on the wall was everything that she did to save people, like all that was her saving people or helping people, and that was like a whole goddamn room full of shit on the walls. It was from like top to bottom of everything she's done throughout the history. They've been tracking her throughout history and showing like all the things that she's done to, you know what I'm saying, like you said, make the world a better place. So that just let you, you know what I'm saying, that just let you know, like, even though they felt like they didn't do enough, but they did a lot of shit.
Yeah. Like they did. I think that when I think that they wanted the world to be in a different, you know what I'm saying, vision. Like, but when you think about all the things that are actually going on in the current world, and actually things that happen as far as, you know what I'm saying, bombings and, you know, and all of this type of shit that has happened. And like, you know, when you think about the Holocaust and slavery and all of this type of shit, I think that they was thinking of more of a broad span, but like they was able to, because you got to think, like, you save one person could have created something that made the world a better place. So it's like the people that they were saving, we don't know what they end up doing later on in life. 100%. But at the same time, yeah. But I think, dude, I feel that this movie, and there's so much with it, because you could take all of the different storylines, like the one part where because I was telling you before we started, I said I watched it again and I noticed something that I didn't notice before. Not that I didn't notice, but I looked at it differently when I saw it. Like when Andy and Niall was outside talking, because Niall was, going through her type stuff or whatever, and the people found them, and so they take the couple, but they leave. My one dude all cut up.
Like the church or something, right?
Yeah, it was like an abandoned church. They said it's been, left there for years or whatever. Yeah. And I'm sitting there thinking, like, from what I remember, the smart dude, well, I ain't gonna call him smart dude, but the young CEO dude, you just got to keep telling people he's the youngest CEO guy or whatever. So he says he wants all of them, but they only take 2 and then leave my man cut up. I'm like, okay. Yeah. And I wasn't really thinking about it because there was so much action going on. And Andy is like, yo, wait for my signal. She takes out this whole fucking army. And so it makes you forget, like, that's the setup. He told them what it was going to be. Yep. And so he told them, like, we're going to be at this church. You take them and you let me go. That's what I was thinking. Because I think that what he wanted them to do was he wanted them to study their body so they could figure out a way to kill them so he could use it on himself. Not kill them, but that would make them not mortal anymore. And so I didn't know.
He was the one that was ready to, get rid of or stop being immortal. Yeah. He was the only one that had an issue with it.
Yeah, because I think that if you think, the couple obviously didn't have any kids because they're 2 dudes. Right. Annie didn't seem like she was smart enough not to get involved with people. He said he had 3 kids. And he said his last one died like 45 years ago or something like that. So he actually got close to people that actually out-aged him and died. So I think that he actually was the one that had people that he loved that didn't have the ability that he has. So he's like, look, I'm ready to clock out. So I'm going to tell this dude where everyone is, and all this stuff. And then the way that Niall looked at it, because when they found where my man stayed, my man from 12 Years a Slave, when they figured out where he stayed, Niall was like, look, I still got a couple of years, to spend with my family, so I want to leave. And so Charlize Theron, I think she just kind of felt bad, and she was just like, well, go ahead, do what you need to do, or whatever. And then she realized that the gun was empty, and it was a setup again. So I didn't really notice it the first time around, but I think that's what got her to really realize, like, I have to go save her. And then when she seen all that stuff on the wall the first time, then she realized, like, okay, yeah, she killed all those people in the church. She didn't intentionally kill the people. The people came after her, but their whole intentions is saving people and actually trying to make the world a better place. And I think that now figured that out. Like, it's not going to be every day we're going to be just killing people, but the people that we're killing, they're going to be bad people, and we're actually killing these people for a better cause.
Well, I mean, because after a while she realized that, the more she got the chance to learn from Andy and the more she got a chance to talk to Andy, like, she realized that a lot of the shit that they was doing was like, basically, I mean, it was some vigilante shit, but it wasn't never like, they wasn't like robbing old people or no shit like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they was actually doing basically the same thing she was doing. They was a small militia that was out here doing, I guess, the best that they could do for the better, good. And I think that her being from that military background, like her actually coming from that, I think that actually made a difference too, because, she was able to eventually take over like that leadership role. Because like to me, when Andy was down and then she found out like that they had took them and all of this shit was exactly what Andy was talking about, she took over. She basically went in there and she saved everybody.
Yep.
And for her to take that action so fast, and within a small amount of time that that they was basically together, and her to catch on so quick, I think that was a good thing too that they did in the movie, because like she went in, like she was, of course she was skeptical, because like we done already said it, like that's some shit that was just basically sprung on her. She didn't know she was immortal. So, to wake up after getting sliced in the throat, having to deal with that trauma mentally. And then not only that, like they got this like telekinetic thing where they all, like have visions or some shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So, anytime they feel like they see something, they all feel it and see it at the same time too. So her having to deal with that, and then, coming, dealing with Andy, and then when she went to the one guy's house and he was explaining to her about what was going on, about how, he was basically just doing everything to save his wife. And, like he had used his wife as his muse to eventually create something that could save somebody else. And then when she started, that's another reason for me bringing up all the things that she was doing, because that she was looking at the wall when he was talking. She started to see as well, like all of these things that she's been doing to help people. So I think that's when it clicked in her head, like, oh, so they really are helping people. They're not actually just out here like being mercenaries. They really are out here like being, like defenders of the people. And when she went in there to save them, so she got in her bag, and I mean, hey, it was what it was. I think the one of the craziest scenes in that movie though was when they had finally got in there and like he shot dude in the mouth.
Yeah,
that shit was nuts. That shit was
crazy. that was nuts. And to go back to your point of her catching on really quick, like when she like. But before I get to that, I also like the fact that even though they've been doing this shit for centuries, like what pissed me off about some movies is that they make the people so good that they never get hit. Like they get hit a lot. Like they took a lot of bullets. You know what I'm saying? And I thought that was really good to put that in the script, because it's like, dude, they're still human. They just heal. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So I really like that, the fact, and to go back to her catching on really quick was she seen that they had the drop on Andy, and she just jumped in front of her and took 2 bullets. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's like, you gotta think like like if you think about this shit, like I'm jumping in front of a bullet for somebody. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, the shit can hurt for a second, but I ain't gonna die. You know what I'm saying? So I thought that was telling to see that she was, you know what I'm saying, to jump in it that quick. Because I mean, if you think about it, she's a week went by, maybe a week, and you already jumping in front of bullets. You know what I'm saying? Because somebody else is. Yeah, so like I thought that was really good. And like you said, that was crazy when he shot the dude in the mouth, and you know what I'm saying, just blew the back of his head out. But that dude was hard. That dude was hard, man. He put up a good fight. But boy, when my man put the drop on him, and broke his neck, boy, that shit was hard. But I was like, man, look, we got. I would say with a lot of the stuff that's going on right now with the pandemic and movies not coming out and all this type of stuff, like the very first movie we did, dude, like Netflix have put out really like on the real, Netflix have put out 3 great action movies this year. Because you also got to remember Extraction. They did the Extraction, with Chris Hemsworth. That shit came out, and Six Underground. We did Six Underground. So like Netflix done put out 3 straight bangers, dude. As far as action movies, and they got.
I think Netflix is doing a great job of just not just even action movies, just content in general. Like if you think about it, like when the pandemic started, you know what I'm saying? The Tiger King came out, and that was the talk of the town. You know what I'm saying? Like that was the biggest thing to hit. You know what I'm saying? Netflix, and I don't know how long. It might be even the biggest thing to hit Netflix. You know what I'm saying? So we had the Tiger King, and then, you know what I'm saying, Six Underground, which was a great movie, even though it came out way before that. But it was actually a great movie. It wasn't a bad movie. You know what I'm saying? Like when we have these platforms that come out with their own content, like, you know, you got Netflix, Hulu, you got Amazon Prime. You know what I'm saying? Like they all creating their own content. So I think right now Netflix is kind of taking it away from them, because not only are they putting out great action movies, but I mean they killing the game with the documentary. I haven't seen Hulu or Amazon Prime come out with any documentaries that kind of rival Netflix, and I think that's what Netflix is winning when they come out with that kind of content. And then I mean, like, what's a great action movie you've seen that Hulu created? You know what I mean? What's a great action? Well, I take that back. I was going to say Amazon Prime, but it's not a movie, it's a show, and that's The Boys, which is their season renews in September too. So we got to get on that. But other than that, like I haven't really seen anything from Hulu or Amazon Prime that kind of rivals anything Netflix has been putting out.
Yeah, the only action thing that I seen, I finished Hannah. Hannah was pretty good on Amazon Prime.
Okay.
But yeah, Netflix killing it, man. And then they also be sneaking shit out on you. Like it didn't really blow up, but I mentioned this to you before. But they did All Day and Night. It had your boy that played Wizard and Wu-Tang American Saga. It's that dude. Like he's playing his dad was supposed to be this gangster dude. It was like, I thought the concept of it was pretty cool, man, because they said that like when it started, it was like, as far as like getting in trouble and type shit like that, they were saying like, do that shit passed down in our DNA type shit. Like I thought that line was very important by the way that the movie went, because my dude father went to prison for killing somebody, and then he ended up going to prison for killing somebody. And they were saying that it's that shit in our DNA. So I thought that part of it was kind of cool. I mean, you could look at it as in, because I know my co-host, Uncle Washington, he always say that we need to stop showing how do he put it? Our bad side or our worst side. He said to me, our ugliness. He said when we show people our ugliness, they're gonna think ugly of us. And like, when you look at this movie, you see a lot of gangster dudes, you see a lot of dudes selling drugs and killing people and all this stuff like that. But I thought, for me personally, the message I took from it was that line, like, just because your father murdered somebody, like, does that shit trickle down and linger down to you? You know what I'm saying? Even though he wasn't around you that much, like, is it your DNA to kind of be like that person was? So that's what I took from it. But that's I bring it up because it was a Netflix original as well. So, but yeah, Netflix, they've been putting out some good stuff. Yeah, I like that.
I mean, 100%, bro. Like I said, man, I think this was a great movie, and it was a little different because it's not just action; it's like action sci-fi. And you don't really get too many, you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't really get too many of those that have that combination that's actually not just good, but, you know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't drawn out. It didn't take a long time to get to the point, you know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't one of those things where you had to be sitting there like, oh my God, when is they gonna get to the action? Like, it was instant action. And then they went into the story. some more action, continue with the story, action, a little bit more story, a whole bunch more action. You know what I'm saying? We had some laughs in there. We had some, you know what I'm saying, dramatic scenes. I mean, it was a little mix of everything. And I think that, you know what I'm saying, even with the actors, you know what I'm saying, you having Charlize Theron and, you know, Chantel, and then you got, like, the other people who really aren't as known, but they all played their parts and they all did a great job in being who they were as their characters. I mean, it was just a good movie. And I think that they did a great job of putting that out.
Man, I totally agree with you, man. I guess that would take us into, you know what I'm saying, the Fire Flames. You went first the last time, so I think it's my turn to go first this time. So, I mean, it has a lot of the stuff that, especially when it comes to an action movie, like you said, we don't see a lot of action sci-fi movies. So I thought that was very, very brilliant. And like I said, what I loved about it the most was they didn't make them superhuman. You know what I'm saying? They got shot a lot. They got stabbed a lot. But they was awesome with their craft. They all was really good at what they do. And now having the military background, you know what I'm saying? She could already handle her own as is. So she fit it in like a glove because she already went through that type of stuff with her being in the military. So that was cool. Another thing that I loved, I mentioned this, and you mentioned it first, but the scene where they was in the plane and she said, you don't know, when she shot at the dude, she was like, you don't know Russia, do you? Just like I told him to play dead. And then they brought that shit back when the CEO dude had to drop on Andy, and she looked at your girl and was like, do you know Russian? And she knew instantly, like, oh, I'm gonna shoot towards her to take the dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just thought that was brilliant. I love the movie. I'm gonna go really high, dude, because like I said, I'm a huge Charlize Theron fan. I knew she had to bring something black. Like you mentioned it, Eon Flex, she did that. Atomic Blonde. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like she did a little bit in the Fast and Furious movies. It's not really too much fight scenes, but like she into that type stuff. And I gotta say, she's Asian well. I don't know if it's because she was born in South Africa. Yeah. I think it's the South African in the dude. I'm telling you, dude, because she's Asian well, and she did a really good job. Dude, I'm giving it a 4.5, man. 4.5 hours, man. I think 4.5. I think they really did it, man, because there's just so much stuff that I like in it. And like I told you, I don't think the idea is far-fetched, dude. I'm not saying that I believe that there are people that have been here since the 1700s. I'm just saying if we was to find out, the CNN had a breaking news story and said we just found out this person has been here for fucking 1,000 years. Not 1,000, but 500 years. I'm like, all right. Like, I didn't think the shit was that far-fetched anyway, but I give it a 4.5, man.
Man, that's interesting, man. Me personally, man, when I think about how many times the concept of this movie has been used, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can go from vampires to werewolves to I don't know what Batman is. What's the dude's name? Ra's al Ghul. Like, we got a whole bunch of, you know what I'm saying? We got a whole bunch of iterations of the immortal life, you know what I'm saying? So, for them to use it in such a realistic fashion, to me, was genius. You know what I'm saying? Like, you brought it up first, and you were saying how, they are mortal, but they still, like, were dying in the movie. Even though they didn't literally die, but they were dying in the movie, like, to go into the, you know what I'm saying, the beginning of the movie, and to see in that scene where they bust into the room or whatever, and then they all get shot and killed, and you like, damn, like, this is the beginning of the movie, it's over already. And then, like, to see them get back up, you know what I'm saying, and then, like, thrash the whole army, it was like, oh shit, I thought that the way that they went about it was genius. The fact that, you know what I'm saying, it's centered around Andy and I, and you know what I'm saying, it was really centered around Andy, but it was centered around her kind of being the mentor for not, you know what I'm saying, not just now, not just the protege, but for all of them, and kind of guiding them through this whole thing, and then seeing, you know what I'm saying, the work that she's done over the time span of how long she's been alive. I thought that was pretty dope to see that. And then, you know what I'm saying, like, just the fact that there was really not a single antagonist in the movie. The antagonist was really a whole corporation. So there wasn't even really like a legit bad guy in the movie. It was just like a group of people that we knew that they were going against that I thought was super good too. And then, you know what I'm saying, for me, man, I'm a sucker for, you know what I'm saying, plot twists. So at the end of the movie, when you see that her protege is back and she may or may not be a bad guy in this movie, or if they make a next movie, she may or may not be the bad guy. I thought that was brilliant too. And so, you know what I'm saying, especially after finding out what she had actually went through, you know what I'm saying, and the horrors that she had to, you know what I'm saying, survive. So for me, man, I'm going 4 out of 5, bro. I think that it was a great movie. It was well put together. It was great action. They stuck to the storyline, and that plot twist at the end, it got me. So I'm going 4 out of 5.
Yeah, that plot twist, like, dude, it really, dude, we are at the same place we were. So what we did 6 Underground back in January, right? We did our first episode back in January.
Yeah,
we saying the same shit about 6 Underground. They leave it so open for another one.
Yep.
And if Netflix is smart, like, well, I know we can't really do a lot of shit right now, you know, with the pandemic going on and all that type of stuff. Mm-hmm. But like, they left it so open because I don't know if, like, the thing about the plot twist is the fact of she went to the one dude that sold him out, that's in exile right now. So is he gonna tell her, like, look, she looked for you for years, and you know what I'm saying, and couldn't find you? Like, is she gonna still be pissed that she never found her, or is she gonna feel sympathy for her because she did look for her for years? I think honestly, the best way to do it is I think they're gonna fight, dude. And
oh yeah, they got to.
But I wonder though. But what I really wonder is she actually going to kill her, and then it basically becomes her. It's going to be a battle between her and Al. Then at this point, because if it goes the way that we thought it went, she lost her immortality, so she's just getting old, and if she gets shot, the shit's not going to heal. And this girl got so much rage, like, I don't know. It's going to be wild, but I'm glad they left it open. I love see, this is the thing. I love it now, but when it's 2022, I don't see another motherfucking Old Guard 2 fucking 7 Underground or whatever the fuck. I'm gonna be mad. Yeah. I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna revisit this shit, and I'm dropping the 4.5 down to a fucking 3. I'm just saying.
Well, the only reason I want to give a rebuttal is because let's not do that. Because let's keep it all in the context. They actually are good movies. Let's not forget that. That's the thing. Yeah. It's not like because of the pandemic, you know what I'm saying, we stuck to watch them. So we just like, well, this is the best that they got to give us. It's good. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, these are actual good movies. So, and then on top of that, like, they have actual decent to good actors in them. You know what I'm saying? Ryan Reynolds, Charlize Theron, like, these are just run-of-the-mill, you know what I'm saying, actors or actresses. These are actual, you know what I'm saying, people who've been in, you know what I'm saying, major productions. And so, you know what I'm saying, I think that, say, in 2021, they shoot a 7 Underground or they shoot an Old Guard 2. I think that by 2022, it's going to be some anticipation because the Old Guard got good reviews. It wasn't like people was just like, oh, you know what I'm saying, this is a great movie. No, like, people was talking about this movie. Like, the only reason I even heard about this movie was off of Facebook, because people kept talking about how good it was. And so that made me go watch it. And I was like, yo, this is very impressive. For them to be able to put this kind of content out during this time is even more impressive, because I don't think that coming out of the pandemic, maybe Six Underground wouldn't have been as good if it was in a pandemic. You know what I'm saying? Like, just knowing what we know of it, I think that probably wouldn't have got the love it got. I think that came out at the right time. But I mean, like, the Old Guard, if there was no pandemic, I still think that it would have got the praise that it got. And I think another reason that it did get the praise that it got is because it was is because the foundation of it is a comic book. Like, to me, comic book movies right now are the thing. So, you know what I mean? Like, we couldn't get this. We couldn't get I'm about to say Scarlet Witch. We couldn't get what the fuck is? We couldn't get the Black Widow. I'm thinking of Scarlett Johansson. We couldn't get Black Widow. You know what I'm saying? So to get, you know what I'm saying, a action movie that's comic book based, you know what I'm saying, that's not DC or Marvel, but good enough to, you know what I'm saying, kind of be in that talk. I think that was, you know, I think that the Old Guard 2 might be something to look forward to in 2022.
I mean, look, I hoping it do, man. Like,
yeah,
like those two movies, that's not the only movie that came out this year that left us like that, man. Bad Boys for Life, that did us the same way. It's like,
that was bad.
Dude, we need to know what happens to Mike Lowry's son. Like, we need to know where they put him undercover. We need to know, like, after they do they deal, because what they always showed us in the Three Bad Boys is Mike and Marcus always find a way to break the case. So it's like, when they break the case, is he getting out immediately or what? Like I got too many questions, dude. Like there's so much in, like, all three of these movies are all in the same. And, like, yeah, you're right about the Scarlett Johansson joint. They pushed that back all the way to next year. Shit. Supposedly, I'm hoping it still does. Candyman's supposed to be coming out next month. We gonna see.
Man.
We gonna see if they hold it, dude. I hope they do. Like, look, man. Trolls 2 fucking blew up.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, we seen it work. We seen it work. Like, it's something new. You know, we're in a pandemic, so a lot of things are gonna be new right now. But, like, Trolls 2 was like the first movie that really did it, and the shit still did numbers. It still made money.
Yep.
They need to go ahead and drop this Candyman 3, or, well, 4, really. But I think let's say it's the new installment.
It's the new Candyman.
But Tony Todd he's still Candyman though. Tony Todd is still Candyman.
Okay, that's a good thing, man. That's a real good thing. It's funny because I just got done watching Final Destination 2, and he was the dude in the morgue in Final Destination 2. But I think I think they should keep this platform, regardless if you know what I'm saying, we get rid of COVID or not. I think that it's smart for the production companies and all of these people to release these movies the same day that they release them in theaters that you can get at home. Because think about it. Who wants to go spend $100 at a movie theater when you can just spend
20? It's been 20.
20. Yeah, spend 20 at home, or you can spend 15 to rent it for a night. And you know what I'm saying? You can go buy you some popcorn from Walmart. You can go get you a couple beers, or you go get you whatever you want to eat, or you can DoorDash whatever you want to eat. And now, you know what I'm saying, you got a solid date night with a brand new movie. You don't got to worry about trying to find something. You can set up the date night by whenever the movie comes out. You know what I'm saying? Or you could set up, you know what I'm saying, family night by whenever the movie comes out. And so, you know what I'm saying, we got Netflix, we got Amazon Prime, we have, Hulu. Those three can be what they are. Those can be content for or created content platforms where they create their own content. They can have, older movies or whatever. But don't forget, we also have iTunes. We also have Google. We also have Walmart, the Vudu service. So we can now, well, I guess you got to add Amazon Prime into that too. But now we can also not only watch the older movies we love, but we can go to iTunes and Google and Amazon and all them to get the newer movies that's coming out. And I mean, that's good. That's huge. Who knows where that can take us? You know what I'm saying? I mean, I think it's going to be bad for the movies, the movie theater companies. But I mean, I can't really say that because, you know what I'm saying, it's people that like to go out and be amongst people when they see certain movies. Especially like with the Avengers. I don't think the Avengers hits the same at home than it does in the movie theater, especially when like they use the gauntlet and then everybody comes back into the, you know what I'm saying, into the real world or into our world, and then you're hearing like 75 people behind you screaming and cheering because Captain America just walked out, or you know what I'm saying, because the Black Panther just walked out or whatever. It's not the same just being at home, you know what I'm saying, watching it on your TV. So, I mean, with certain movies, I wouldn't mind them actually putting them out. I think that it'd be super dope. I think it'd be a great opportunity too. You know what I'm saying? And then, yeah, man, like, once again, like $15 or $20 compared to $100 for some popcorn, you can't beat that.
No, you can't. And I think, and I'll close it out, but I think that when the movie business I don't think theaters are dead for the simple fact, like you said, people do like to go out. Some people look like, there's still a different kind of experience that you get. There's just like the argument of going to a game and watching a game at home. Yeah, the TV quality of a game is better. We all know that's better. But being in that arena or being in that stadium, there's a different energy that you feel. And the movie will feel different being in a movie theater. So I think that they still can get that audience back. It's just that right now with not being able to large gatherings and all that stuff, like just release it, man. Like they pushed the Tenet back again. So like they said indefinitely. So we don't even know when they're gonna come up with a date for the Tenet. So like man, just release it. And when the movies come back, we'll go back to that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It'll go back. It'll go back.
Yeah, so, man, I agree.
So man, I just want to say for the Viewers Anonymous people, you can find, man, we got to start promoting the Viewers Anonymous group page. We don't really, we don't really mention that a lot, man. You got it, VA. Oh man, what's the name of it?
It's the Viewers Anonymous Watch Group.
Yeah, the VA Watch Group. So go check that out on Facebook so we can build an audience on that. You'll see all the content that we have posted for previous episodes on there. You can also go to the Stolen Time Podcast page on Facebook. Go follow me there, leave some reviews or whatnot. Also go to the Stolen Time Pod page that is on Instagram. S.Foster8 on Instagram and Twitter. Go follow both of those pages. I just dropped the episode Wednesday, named that what I named it? Think Before Doing. You know what I'm saying? We broke down the Jonathan Isaac thing of not kneeling.
Right into the fire starting out. That was a great way to start.
Yeah, I did that intentionally, man.
Yeah,
I wanted to get right to it. So, so we still pushing out content there. That's really everything, But the Stolen Time Podcast is on all major platforms. Also, 28 minutes or less, they're all up under the Stolen Time Podcast page, so you can find all those episodes there. The last one I did was episode 17. And that was top 5 war movies. Well, my top 5 war movies of all time. So that's the last thing that you will find for 28 minutes or less.
Yes, sir, man. You can go to Instagram and follow me, ScootsBronson_TV. You can also go to Twitter @ScootsBronson. Like you said, man, go to Facebook, follow the VA Watch Group. We have something that we're trying to do. It's called Rave is the app. You can go to Rave. You can use Rave to do watch groups, just like they do the Netflix parties and all that. We can do whatever we want, whether it be Netflix, Hulu, something on YouTube, whatever. We're going to get together and we're going to start doing watch parties, man, so you guys can also watch the movies with us. And then, you know what I'm saying, you can also get our takes during the movie, and you can, you know what I'm saying, come back here. And if you miss something in the movie, we might hook you up and tell you something, you know what I'm saying, like we always do. So definitely go there, join the group, make sure you post the movies that you want to see us talk about. Make sure you post the opinions on the movies that we have talked about. And, you know what I'm saying, just give us some feedback, man. Let us know how we doing. You can also check me out on the Already Home podcast with my guy, Gan. You know what I'm saying? That's available on all podcast platforms. And you can also check me out on 15 Minutes of Fame, which I got some new episodes coming very soon. Like I said, I'm getting a list of people. I'm trying to get a whole catalog of episodes together so I can just drop them joints, you know what I'm saying, whenever. I'm trying to be like S. Foster, man, and drop them joints whenever I feel like it instead of doing it weekly. So, you know what I'm saying? That's pretty much it for me, man.
Yeah, and also for the people that are listening on the audio version, go to, or you didn't shout out the YouTube page.
Oh, yeah, I'm tripping. I'm sorry. I'm tripping, man. We got audio and, you know what I'm saying, YouTube. So, you know what I'm saying, you can hear us and you can see us. You can go to my YouTube page, Scoots Bronson TV. You can search Viewers Anonymous. Either one of those, you can definitely pull us up and find us. We on what, 6 or 7 episodes now?
We did. We started with 6 Underground, then we did Juice, and then the terrible thing happened. We did Bad Boys for Life, but
yeah, we did. We
lost that.
I messed that one up.
Oh, that's all good, man. It happens all the time. Then we did Inception, and then we did Hunters. So this is the fifth. This is the 5th one.
The 5th one. Okay, so we got 5. We got 5 episodes. We got a lot more coming. So, you know what I'm saying, go catch up or go, you know what I'm saying, tell us about your favorite one. Feel free to go to YouTube, comment, and make sure you like and subscribe. Make sure you follow us both. Make sure you subscribe to all our podcasts. Check out all our content as well.
Yes, sir.